For almost 30 years, I've been working as a strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer in my own facilities, and now on a digital platform. And one of the greatest demographics that I've had is women over 50. And so today I'm going to come up with my 5 favorite exercises for that age group to work on strength and conditioning. Now, what I love about working with this age group is they're at a point in their lives where they usually say, just tell me what to do. I just want to be able to go out, play. I don't want to have aches and pains, and I want to be able to move and enjoy my life. And that's awesome. And so we're going to start off with my favorites. Now, there are about 1,001 combinations to all this, but give these a try. I think you'll have amazing results. And again, remember, it's all about execution. So if you don't feel like you're executing correctly, get some help from a pro. If it's not me, that's fine, but send me a message. I can help you out, give you some cues to help you get the technique right. All right, so we're going to start off with the kettlebell swing. The two-handed kettlebell swing is probably one of the biggest game changers that I use for all people, but also for this demographic. Gluteal problems sort of can lead to greater issues in the knees, ankles, and poor alignment in the body. And so using the kettlebell for the two-handed kettlebell swing is going to help tremendously. This is a hinging motion, so make sure that when you're doing it, you feel more like you're bowing and less like you're squatting. That's one of the common issues. So as you hinge forward, the kettlebell comes back. We drive the hips forward to make the kettlebell go up on its own. That's one of the bigger things that I see too when people are first kettlebell swing, is that they feel like they squat and then they do in a front raise. That's not what we want. We want to bring the hips to the party, drive the hips forward to get that kettlebell to come up. I usually swing it chest height. Everyone tends to be very, very successful at swinging chest height. What are the areas that are working here? Low back, glutes, and hamstrings. And those are a critical part of the posterior chain to help you in a great many activities. All right, second movement for this age group is an inverted row. Now I have multiple suspension trainers in here. This one's by Monkey. I like to use this one because it travels beautifully. And the inverted row I love because it helps work the posterior sling, bicep, lats, mid upper back. What I love about this is that these lats get very, very little attention in everyday life. So very, very many people are struggling with igniting or using those areas. And this movement, I would say 8, 9 out of 10 people will feel it in this area, in the lats, and that's what we're trying to do. So we invert position, chest up, shoulders down, pull and squeeze the shoulder blades at the end of the motion. Very, very simple. If you don't have this, you can set something up with a broomstick between chairs, which is very common when I have on my digital platform as people are building up their gym. So that's the inverted row, gets us those pulling muscles. All right, now we're gonna get a little bit more technical, a little bit more creative. I've been using this movement very, very often over the last couple decades, and that's single arm, single leg overhead press. Victor, why are you getting so complicated? Well, first off, everyone needs to work on their balance, right? So I think if you're aging, balance tends to start to slide down. If you're not working it, it gets worse quicker. So the single leg position, let's talk about that first. Standing on one leg obviously is knee, ankle, hip, and the core is working on stabilizing. Then we take one of my favorite movements, which is an overhead press. You can do both hands at the same time. You can go opposite hand and foot. You can go same hand and foot. But the idea is very, very simple. Shoulders need the extra attention. The more we work on strengthening the upper body and load, the better we help put calcium in those areas. So if you're today I'm using a kettlebell to demonstrate this, kind of a soft surface here. So see if I can work on the balance. Here, controlled. Abs are pulled in tight. Good, so that's a single arm, single leg overhead press. Now, let's get into the abs. Everyone always wants to know what to do for abs. So make no distinction that having strong abdominals and having the visible signs that you have abdominals are two different things. A good sound nutrition plan can help you, and you can come see me, send me a message. I can help you with that as well. But what things do I think are important for this age group? And I end up picking my side plank and my 2-inch reverse crunch. And let me tell you why I pick a side plank over a regular plank. The vast majority of people have overactive hip flexors. We sit for work. The vast majority of us sit for work or have hip flexors that act up. And so we go plank. I tend to see not as much activity in the abdominal wall as I like to see. So I picked the obliques as my target muscle group because those are muscles for go. There's muscles for show and muscles for go. And so lots of crunches and planks are sort of critical for developing those, but I prefer to get the obliques involved because most people will feel this exerting in their sides when they're doing it. Think about this. When you go plank, where are you feeling it? A lot of people will have a general fatigue, but not feel it in the area that they want. So that's why I picked the side plank. So you can do multiple variations of this, extended arm or forearm, but just to give this position here, lay on your side, elevate the hip, and control the position. You hold this for time. Try to make sure you're not rotating or needing this hand to rotate down. That's something a little bit different. And again, when you're doing your side plank, you want the obliques to feel that. The last exercise on this is another abdominal exercise. That's the 2-inch reverse crunch. Now you might ask why I picked this one. Well, I like this because it helps work on pelvic position. A lot of people tend to stand in lordosis where their low back is excessively arched. We want to work on improving that and relieving the tension in the low back. So the 2-inch reverse crunch is very, very simple. You're going to lay down like you're doing a crunch. The feet are off the ground, and the knees are going to come up, and the pelvis pivots off the ground. So this is what it looks like. Now, when you're doing this motion, the trick is not to use a lot of momentum to get the legs up. That's something completely different. So stabilize, my head is up here just to kind of talk to you guys. From here, the pelvis tucks under, the knees come up. Okay? So those are my 5 favorite exercises for women over 50 to work on having both function, strength, and